Hi there. Are you looking to experience more love, more peace, and more abundance in your life? Do you want to wake up each day with greater purpose and feel more fulfilled? If you are, then this is the place for you. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey. Over the past 2 decades, our open and affirming community has created a safe space for all to come and be uplifted. I hope you enjoy watching, and if you like what you see, please visit us at cslnj.com.
Good morning. Ooh, that's so lackluster. Good morning. And you know this is an opportunity to get up out of your seats. We invite you to stand, those of you at home too. Here we go. Each and every day. 1, 2. Each and every day, I know I'm gonna share some light. Each and every day, I know I'm gonna share some light. Each and every day, I know I'm gonna share some light. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Share, spread some joy. Each and every day, I know I'm gonna spread some joy. Each and every day, I know I'm gonna spread some joy. Each and every day, I know I'm gonna spread some joy. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Pray for peace. Each and every day, I know I'm gonna pray for peace. Each and every day, I know I'm gonna pray for peace. Each and every day, I know I'm gonna pray for peace. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Give some love. Each and every day, I know I'm gonna give some love. Each and every day, I know I'm gonna give some love. Each and every day, I know I'm gonna give some love. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Walk with God. Each and every day, I know I'm gonna walk with God. Each and every day, I know I'm gonna walk with God. Each and every day, I know I'm gonna walk with God. Hallelujah, hallelujah. No, I'm blessed. Each and every day, I know I'm gonna know I'm blessed. Each and every day, I know I'm gonna know I'm blessed. Each and every day, I know I'm gonna know I'm blessed. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Call a response. Say each and every. Here we go. Each and every. Each and every day. Oh, each, every, each and every day. Oh, each, every, each and every day. Hallelujah, hallelujah. You know we gotta do that one more time, right? Here we go. Each and every, each and every day. Oh, each, every, each and every day. Oh, each and every, each and every day. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Good morning.
So, welcome. I invite you to join with me in our welcome in the sheet that you got as you came in. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, where we are an open and affirming science of mind community where the vibration of love lifts you, the wisdom of the ages inspires you, and the science of mind teaching empowers you. We believe that heaven and hell are states of consciousness that you experience in this lifetime, and that you are the architect of your life, and it is never too late to know true happiness. And that's so comforting to know that true happiness is within our reach. So as we join together today, I invite you to bring your entire consciousness into this space, into this community, into this wavelength that we can connect with the Spirit as well. Before service, we had a wonderful meditation from Joe. Thank you. And you are also our practitioner of the day. So thank you for being here to center us.
And we remind you to close your eyes if you want to. Allow the mood, the feeling, the words to wash over you and through you. And if you get to a point where you'd like to sing along, please feel free to do so. You, we. A unique expression of God's love, the manifestation of God's inspiration. I am God's gift, present of mind, a unique expression of God's love. The manifestation of God's inspiration. You are God's gift, present of mind, a unique expression of God's love. The manifestation of God's inspiration. We are God's gift, present of mind, a unique expression of God's love. The manifestation of God's inspiration.
Oh yes, we are all God's gift. And I pray and know today for each and every one of us that we receive these gifts that God has so generously given to each and every one of us, so that we are able to look within, be grateful, and allow ourselves to give it back to everyone we meet, everyone we see, everyone we speak to, because each person is God's gift to the other. We are all gifts to one another, vibrating in the highest frequency of God's love, God's truth, God's peace. It is all right where I am, right where you are. And as I receive these gifts, I am once again able to give them back out, knowing that God has graced me in marvelous, marvelous ways. I am so grateful to know this truth for myself and for everyone else. Everyone else, everyone is God's gift in this universe. And as we know that this is true, we become more and more the manifestation of God's love. So I say thank you, Spirit, for this truth. Thank you for allowing me to know it. Thank you for allowing me to speak it. Thank you for allowing me to live in it. I am so very grateful. And so I surrendered this word with love and faith in my heart, with conviction of gratitude for each and every person that I meet today, and look in their eyes and know that I am seeing God. Thank you. I am so grateful. And so it is.
We, you, I. We are God's gift, present of mind, a unique expression of God's love, the manifestation of God's inspiration. You are God's gift, present of mind, a unique expression of God's love, the manifestation of God's inspiration. I am God's gift, present of mind, a unique expression of God's love, the manifestation of God's inspiration. I am God's gift.
As we settle into that, thank you, Clive and Richard and Ty and Celine. Thank you for creating that. Such an important part of our service to have different modalities to center ourselves and connect with Spirit. Meditation, song, chants, readings, and here an affirmation. So I invite you to, again, circle back to our handout today as you continue in May's affirmation of raise your voice, which we did pretty good right there. Let's continue to affirm ourselves. Please join with me. I confidently speak my truth and advocate for myself with clarity and strength. My boundaries are set with love and respect, fostering strong and supportive relationships. I honor my own needs while approaching others with love. Boundaries don't separate us. They create space for me to be my authentic, divine self, sharing in unity as unique expressions of God. With empathy and open communication, I move toward lasting peace. And so it is.
Peace. We got to keep focusing on it. And we are going to focus on it with our peace concert. So please, Joe, are we aiming to put the peace concert on Zoom as well? I don't know, have we made a decision on, I don't know how effective it would be, but okay. Well, and I really do appreciate the fact that there's going to be people out today on the street. They're taking our A-frame sign out front, putting it on the street corner, and going to be handing out these flyers, putting them up in stores. If you haven't seen it, you'll see it hopefully in the newsletter. If I remember to put it in, Sandy, remind me, please, to put in our thank you letter from NOW, National Organization for Women. You know, we do give to these organizations, and we're doing some good in the world, and this is just another way to do it, and it's a huge way to do it. And we all know peace starts with us, and if it starts with us individually, it can start with us as a group here on June 14th, raising our voices. If you haven't registered for the concert, please do. Let people know. If you want flyers to hand out anywhere, put them up. On my way here, I put some up in a park, on a bulletin board in a park on my way in this morning. All right, so do that. Spread the word. And if you would please, repeat after me. I am the peace that I wish to see. I know this peace for my family. My family knows this peace for my community. My community knows this peace for my country. And my community knows this peace for the world. Thank you. Oh, got to do the reading now. Thought it was time for more music. The talk today is entitled Negotiating Peace, Conflict, Reconciliation, and Transformation. So I chose today's reading from page 461 in the Science of Mind, and it's titled, God Does Not Argue. Quote, this from Luke 15:11. A certain man had 2 sons, and the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of the goods that falleth to me. And he divided unto them his living. When the younger son asked for his portion of good, God did not argue with him, did not try to dissuade him, did not suggest that he was using bad judgment. God never argues. To argue is to suppose an opposite, and God has no opposite. We argue to arrive at a correct conclusion. God is already the correct conclusion of all things. Therefore, it does not need to argue. Plotinus tells us that nature never argues, that it contemplates itself, that its contemplation creates a form through which it may become expressed. Undoubtedly, this is the whole meaning and process of creation. And he divided unto them his living. There was no argument. God did not tell the son that it would be far better for him to remain at home. He did not say that he might come to want and suffer, perhaps starve. He did not tell him anything. He divided unto them his living. The universe gives us what we ask. Experience alone will teach us what is best to have. He divided unto them his living. No clearer statement of individuality could possibly be inferred than this. The son received exactly what he asked for, no more, and certainly no less. The cup of his acceptance was filled from the universal horn of plenty. He could do with it as he chose. God does not argue. More on that to come after this song.
You know what this means, right? You gotta get up! Your life an act of faith. Surrender all, give it to God. Make your life an act of faith. Surrender all, Spirit will lead you. Give it to God. I leaned on my friends and my family as long as I could, never taking responsibility for my life as I should. Things started getting out of hand, trauma everywhere. Then I decided to give love a try, and now I'm prepared to make my life do-do-do, yeah. Surrender all. Give it to God. Make your life an act of faith. Do-do-do-do. know that you can achieve it. You should. Oh, in your heart, name what you want. Know that you can. You, hey, yeah. You just name what you want, and you know that you can. Make your life an act of do, yeah. Spirit will lead you when you make your life an do, yeah. Spirit will lead when you name what you want. Know that you can. You in your heart. Name what you want. Know that you can. You, yeah. Affirm it in your heart. You gotta believe. And you name what you want. Know that you can. You, I know what to do. Oh, you name what you want, and you know that you can. You, oh, affirm it, believe it, then you got to claim it, then you know. Whoa, one more time. Affirm it in your heart. You just name what you want, and you know that you can. You affirm it. You just affirm it, and then you believe it. And when you name what you want, you claim it, and then you know that you can. Whoa, affirm it. Believe it, claim it, achieve it, make your life an act of faith. Surrender all. Spirit will lead you when you give it to God. Make your life. Ooh, 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 yeah. Spirit will lead you when you give it to God.
I know everybody thinks I use this stool because I'm more comfortable on a bar stool than any place else. I cannot lie, that's probably true. But it also reminds me of, the world's shortest joke, which is more than a joke, because depending upon how long it takes you to get this joke, you will determine. We talk about what you walked into the room with, right, and the already listening aspect of our lives, right? And the world's shortest joke is a minister walks into a bar and says, "Ouch." That's the entire joke. And if you don't get it, you've got to think about it. Because everybody walked in here anticipating what it was going to be. Take it for what it says. Just take the statement. How many of you actually get the joke? Okay. Well, I'm not going to tell you the answer then. Just take it for the statement that it is. You walked in expecting that.
He walked into the bar, literally.
There you go. Right? But we don't, we're already listening from another aspect, right? That's just a little example. Today's talk, is negotiating peace, conflict risk, reconciliation, and transformation. God, it sounds awful, conflict, reconciliation, and transformation. I love talking about this because it's one of the things that I really am comfortable with, that I'm fine. And this is something that everybody here has been doing since you were born, right? We use the term negotiating, and they use it a lot in this topic about what are we negotiating for. From the day we're first born, we have needs. We got to find stuff out, right? When Jameson was first born, he wanted to eat. Guess who's got the food, right? How does he communicate that, and what is it that draws the attention, and how does that work out? It's like, well, it's not time for you to eat. Well, no, I don't care. I'm going to cry anyway because that's the only thing I know to do in this case, right? And this whole topic and our principles and our concepts are so well made for this, but this whole process, if we start with children when they're young, it becomes just a natural part of living and working with people and living with people. And I did this with my children not because I knew anything. I knew a little something, but not much. I knew I wanted to be a parent. But the best thing I did with my kids, from the time they were like 2 years old, my kids didn't talk till they were late. They ran like hell at 9 months, but they didn't start talking. And from the minute they could speak, I engaged them in a conversation. And I let them know that I always saw them as people, not kids. I let them know that I respected the fact that they had their own thoughts, their own ideas. They start from the day they're born trying to become their own people, not us. By the time they get to be teenagers, that's raging like hell. They just don't want to be us. So I used to sit and talk to them all the time and listen more than I would talk. But what I also told them was, I'm the father. And, there are decisions that I'm going to make, but I want to know what you think. Like if I tell you something and you don't agree with it, tell me. Now, we're talking at the level of a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old as this process goes on. One of the things that comes back to haunt you is that when you tell your kids they can talk to you about anything, they do. They can say anything, and they do. But it builds an incredible relationship. But here's what it also builds. As I said, if you don't agree with anything I've just said, you can tell me. You can say, I don't agree with that. And as long as you do it respectfully, I will sit and listen to you, and I will hear what you have to say, with the caveat of the fact that I'm still the father, and I may have to make some sort of a unilateral decision that's for your good, and you may not be happy with it. That could still happen. So I started with just little things. It's time to go to bed. I don't want to go to bed. Well, okay. Convince me. Why don't you want to go to bed? Why should you stay up? And they go, well, I just want to. I go, you know what? Sorry, I'm not buying it. It's not good enough. Give me a better reason. Well, I just want to see the end of the show. And I made a conscious effort to lose those battles sometimes so that they could see that this was possible, that if they did engage in this, that they would win, quote unquote win, that we could come to a mutual agreement, that their opinion was listened to and it was heard and it was respected. And they found out that there was a difference of opinion, all we had to do was talk about it. God doesn't argue. Neither does Neil. And that was just something that came to me in that way. But, if you're facing having a hard conversation with somebody, you may want to ask yourself, why do you think this is a hard conversation? What makes this a hard conversation? It's probably because your goal is to get something from someone that they don't want to give, or something you don't want to give to them. And that's not necessarily a good place to start. So we'll go back to one of the tenets we teach here all the time. Nobody's against you, even if they think they are. Never. They're just trying to work out their own stuff from their own perspective, and whatever it is in them that happens to be in your face right now is nothing to do with you. It has to do with something in them that's going on that they're trying to work out. And you just need to figure out what that is. In that situation, I don't care whether it's buying a house, I don't care whether it's a personal argument, whatever it is, here's another tenet of ours. There's enough. There's enough for everybody. There's not a limited supply. There's not a finite supply of anything here. And if it's money, there's enough. If you're selling and you think you've got to get to them before somebody else gets to them, well, maybe that's not the person you're supposed to be getting to. There's enough to go around, and that's a huge point. But one of the things that we try and drive home all the time, that the only way you're going to know any of this is if you remain curious. And that's probably the biggest thing that's going to lead you into a conversation that's a kind conversation. It's going to lead you into listening rather than talking. And it's going to lead you into compassion and possibly empathy at the same time. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of techniques that are used in order to negotiate. By the way, I don't negotiate. I have a conversation. If I go in and say, I'm going to negotiate this, immediately what happens? They're on that side, I'm on this side. There's an immediate distance. I'm not going to negotiate anything. I'll have a conversation with you. We'll figure it out. We'll work it out. But I'm not going to negotiate. I don't need to do that. Yeah, like I said, there are techniques, and I've used them. Like one of the techniques is never be the first one to speak. And that goes right along with being curious. If I'm not the first one to speak, and I've been in many situations, including a divorce, where it was like, I just decided rather than go head to head and butt heads, it was like, she said, what are you going to do, or what are you going to give me, or whatever? And I said, well, just tell me what you want. You tell me. And she did. And it was far less than I was planning to do. If I go to a networking event, I never am the first one to speak. Because if I ask you to tell me who you are first, I immediately have a perspective on how I can relate to you better. All right, so there are techniques like that as far as when you're dealing with people. And when I teach networking to people, there's some things like that that really do help you get along. But, like my first awareness, I wanted to start my own business. You've heard me talk about it before. I was so bad as a salesman, I got my ass fired, like it was just unbelievable. I couldn't sell a damn thing, right? So I said, well, how am I going to start my business? I need this piece of equipment to start my business that's like $8,000. This is back when $8,000 was a lot of money. Nowadays $8,000 is what Donald finds in his couch, right? And I said, I need this piece of equipment. So I put out the word, I need to buy this, I need to get it used. Call me if you know a company in trouble that has one of these. And I did, and I got a phone call that said this company up in Midland Park, New Jersey has one of these units. It's on a lease with, Mid-Atlantic Bank or Mid-Atlantic Bank, one of those big banks. And I'm getting on the phone going, okay, I'm going to negotiate this. I'm going to get this machine, going to get the bank to agree with me. And pretty soon I was listening to what this person was telling me, and that I thought this was about money. It's a big bank. They don't care about money. They got all the money in the world. They were more concerned with getting it out of the building, moving it, all the hassle of the transportation and the truck, and where do we put it, and where do we store it. And they were more concerned about that. I'm like, oh, okay. Now that I actually hear what their needs are, now it makes sense. I said, I tell you what, how about I go get it? How about I pick it up? I pay the moving. You don't have to go anywhere. All you got to do is sign this paper that says I'll take over the payments. Oh, done deal. You got your machine. Because I found out really what they were after. So, again, I don't negotiate. I just have a conversation and figure it out. One of the things too that's really important when you're in this situation, well, I don't care what it is in any conversation, Michelle touched on it last week when she spoke, is looking somebody in the eye. Because when you look somebody in the eye, there is an understanding. If you're in a personal relationship and you're trying to have a serious conversation, you can't look that person in the eye while you're in that relationship. Okay? And if you're a politician, and a lot of you don't know this, the business I did start after I bought that machine dealt with a lot of politicians. We ran political campaigns, presidential races, everything all over the country. And I learned quickly not to deal with the politicians. Why? Because then none of them would look me in the eye. You shake hands, how you doing? They're like this. It's like, yoo-hoo, over here. And that's true with famous people, whatever, except for Richie Havens. I knew Richie Havens. I, would speak to him a number of times because of another client that I had. And when you talk to Richie Havens, he would shake your hand, he would hold your hand for the whole conversation. And he would look you in the eye, and he would not look past you. And he would just be right there with you, holding your hand, shaking your hand the whole time, wouldn't let go. And if you know Richie Havens, his fingers were so long they went up to my elbow. Because he played that open tuning with the thumb. It was like, Richie. So that is, don't be afraid to make the connection. The eyes do so much. They communicate. They see. Love at first sight. Right? Across a crowded room. They write songs about it. It's how I knew I had a connection with Michelle. It was the eye connection. 2 different times. I can remember it right now, 14 years or 15 years later. Those exact moments when that connection was made by an eye connection. It seems crazy, and I think a lot of people don't do it because they're afraid somebody's going to see them. But if we really are okay with who we are, all this goes back to self-love, self-awareness, all the work we do on ourselves, all the shadow work we do, all the forgiveness work we do. We're okay with being vulnerable. We don't care if people see us. Because if we don't let people see us, why are we here? What are we doing here? Just, we playing bumper cars with people? We don't want that. At least I don't want that. If it's funny, you get into these groups where we're dealing with workshops and everything, they say, tell us your superpower. My superpower is calm. Right? I was working at this company for a number of years, a lot of years. I was the CCO of the company. I was the chief comm officer. And when I left there not long ago, the owner of the company said, well, Neil was the guy that brought comm to everything around here. I don't know what we're going to do now. And my job there was to do that. I was brought there in order to help this guy figure out how to sit in a conversation and how to negotiate or have conversations with like the presidents of companies and all that, because that's what I did when I had my own company. He said, you sit in the middle of conversations, you have conversations with like the president of Hackensack Medical Center or, senatorial candidates, stuff like, oh yeah. He goes, teach me how to do that. And that's like, okay, they're just people, right? So that ability, and quite often I'm in meetings where there's two people screaming at each other, yelling at each other. And I'm sitting there taking it in. And the meeting gets over and he looks at me and says, how do you stay so calm? I go, that's what I do. How am I going to accomplish anything if I get all carried away? It's not going to work. I'm trying to figure out what everybody is looking to do, where they need to go, and how I can help everybody get what's going to work for them here. And I can't do that if I'm screaming at people. Which takes us to EQ. You know what EQ is? Emotional intelligence, right? You got IQ, you got EQ. As it said, IQ will get you the job, but EQ will get you promoted. Why do you think that is? Anybody got a guess? IQ will get you the job. Why? Because this is all they're seeing. They say, what skills does this person have? What knowledge does this person have? What shows us how smart they are? But EQ is about people. The only reason we're in business anywhere is because of people. I don't care whatever your job is. All you're doing is helping somebody somewhere. If you sell insurance, that sounds boring. You may help that person make a decision that really helps them down the line incredibly. If you're a clerk in the store checking somebody out, you're helping that person get what they need to eat. If you're in New Jersey and you're pumping gas, you're helping that person in some way. So EQ is about people, and business is only about people. And it's all about relating to people, having conversations with people, managing people, quote unquote. But it's about helping people grow. Somebody asked me once, why is your business so successful? I said, I just know people. That's my business. I had a design studio. I don't know a damn thing about design. But I know people, and I could help my staff grow. I could help my clients grow. And if they were growing, my business did great. And eventually I learned a little bit about design, EQ is all about, like Viktor Frankl's quote, and you've heard it, but I'll read it so I get it right. Between stimulus and response lies a space. In that space lies our freedom and power to choose a response. In our response lies our growth and our happiness. That's EQ. Between stimulus and response, we have a choice. And if you're in that, and if you're one of those people that has a knee-jerk reaction like a lot of people do to react, your mother said count to 10, count to 10. She knew a few things. What I train people to do when I work with them in this is don't say any statement. Just ask a question. Kick into curiosity in that. Somebody's in your face. They're going crazy. They're trying to get something, negotiate all this stuff. You just ask, tell me more about that. I don't have to react. I don't have to yell back. Regardless of whether I agree with them or not, it's like, I don't really agree with this, but it actually gets to be kind of fun watching them go crazy when you're not. So that puts you in a position where you can listen, you can find out, ask questions more. Get them to calm down by asking them questions. And the more questions you ask them, the more likely this whole conversation is to calm down, and they'll get to the table, they'll get in the middle of it. Again, like we said in our affirmation, we talk about boundaries. Keep in mind, boundaries are where we come together, not where we separate. So you can have boundaries, and you meet people there, and that's what makes it all work. If you view it as a separation, you already have two sides of the table going against each other. Boundaries are where we come together. I don't negotiate. I just have a conversation. We've seen it here when COVID came, when COVID hit. We weren't doing that great, our community here, CSLNJ. And we were trying to figure out how to make it all work and how to have it come together. And then it got to the point where we could not meet some of our commitments. The lease on the building, the lease we had on the printer that we had. So, of course, the leadership council said, Neil, take care of that for us, will you? You have the hard conversations. That's good. And I don't know how many people remember our landlord, but he is a little different, a little difficult. And but I called him up, just had a conversation with him, made him realize what our position was and what my position was, and we did our best. But we owed on that lease when we left almost $40,000 if we were held to the commitment of that lease. It was $3,000 a month, and we had about a year and a half left on that lease, if I recall. But he let us out of it. On the printer, same thing. I forget what it was, 10,000, 8,000, whatever it was on that. But it was just a matter of, I'm not going to fight with you. I'm not going to argue with you. Let's just talk about the facts and see what's going to work for you. How can I help you resolve this so that you're okay with this situation as well? Be better if my fingers worked. But in personal relationships, things change. They do get more emotional, and that's okay. But a lot of times we have a problem with it because we don't want to feel the emotion, or we don't want to show the emotion. We don't want somebody to see what we have. But especially in a personal relationship, you need to be willing to lose it in order to keep it and heal it. And that means opening up and getting vulnerable and speaking your mind and being honest. But none of these things can happen unless somebody on both sides agrees to create a safe space. And we know that here. What do we say about this place? Safe place to know God, right? In any conversation, by listening, then you create this safe space, and then everybody can be vulnerable. And everybody can say, yeah, this is me. This is what I need. This is what I want. That feels so much better than like this. Just being like this. It's like, this is all I'm looking for. Work with me. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what I can do for you. It's really important. So what's the lesson from that? Shut up and listen. Ask questions. Don't attack. Be curious. Find out what's happening on the other side of this conversation, and then see where that leads you. See where you can go with it. Make them feel safe. When that happens, everybody is going to feel at least compassion and probably empathy. And we've done exercises in being vulnerable in some of the classes. We go around and say, okay, tell us something that we don't know about you. Something that you've been holding back. And we go around the table and everybody says something, and by the time it comes back around, I'll ask and say, anybody else feel the same thing that other people said? Oh, God, yeah. Oh, man, felt the same way. All right. Did anybody here die because they said what they said? No. Did everybody feel okay saying it out loud? Yes. Why? It's a safe place. And most people want to say it. That's why they're angry. That's why they're in your face. No one's ever against you unless, even if they think they are, because they're trying to get out of them and resolve something. Give them the opportunity. Don't fight them. Let them resolve it. You'll help them. You'll help them grow. In wrapping this up, we always talk about the principles. We always talk about the concepts. And all of these are designed to help us live this way, do these things. Jenny, last time she spoke, was very vulnerable, but she spoke about that one core concept of oneness. How important is this? If you're going to sit across from somebody and you're going to look them in the eye, you're going to say, we're all one. And you'll communicate that by looking them in the eye and making the connection. That's saying we're all one. If that's where we're coming from with this, then any conversation you have is easier. Because God doesn't argue. When that happens, healing happens, togetherness happens, growth happens, love happens. Even in a situation where you think, I could never feel love for this person. But that's what's there at the root of all of it. You just need to peel away all the other layers to get to it. And you'll find out that even in that situation, you kind of fall in love with that person. I don't mean you're going to fall in love with the guy trying to sell you a Buick, but you'll appreciate, you'll love that person for what that person is. And that's the beautiful part. And then whatever the resolution is, everybody feels good about it. And that's wonderful. Because when it gets to the bottom line, starting from this high, this young, everybody just wants to be seen, be heard, and feel safe. That's what brings peace. We come from that place. Let's take this into spiritual mind treatment. Yes, there is only one. I am that one. You are that one. They are that one. Or as Deepak Chopra said, I am that. You are that. That is all there is. and that is truth. So what I know is, regardless of who I'm speaking with, who I'm working with, who I'm in a relationship with, that I am open, that I am honest, that I allow myself to be accessed. Because this is the place where love resides. This is the place where God expresses as me, as an individual. God doesn't argue, so therefore coming from me, from that place deep inside that is divine spirit speaking, I have no need to argue either. But I can love, and I do. I can appreciate, and I do. And I can understand, and I can have compassion, and I can have empathy. And yes, I can create a safe place for all those around me. And I know that when that happens, peace exists. Not peace tomorrow, not anything looking more than just right here and right now in this moment, because that's all there is. It's not some trite expression. It's who I am. I am the presence of a loving, peaceful spirit. And I live that. And I am aware of that. And I invite all those around me to join in being that expression of the divine. I'm just so grateful for that knowing. I'm so grateful for that understanding that comes from this teaching, from this community, from what we do here, that this is what is possible in my life. And in that gratitude, I release these words into that power and presence, into that divine oneness inside of me, all around me. Please join me in saying, and so it is.
Such perfect words. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Question, here we go. Am I strong enough to bear the burden that sometimes comes from living this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decision when I'm standing in the end of the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I've got to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Will I have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself? Will I have enough of mind and body to live a life of grace and wholeness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows. I am the place, I am the place, I am. of the plate. Moves and reigns, has its being high in the place where God shows up.
As we move into our abundance blessing offering time, gotta find that piece of paper. I think we mentioned it in our affirmation for May, and Neil touched upon it as well. But recognizing the gifts that we bring, that we each have different gifts at different points in our lives, and they all kind of settle together to create the strong community that we have. You know, not everybody has the same skills, and skills can interplay between each other. So thank you for all that we do to support this center, certainly financially, but also by being here in person, by showing up online, for being the boots on the ground that makes this the place where God shows up. So please join with me in our conscious giving affirmation, knowing the gifts that you bring are not just there alone, that together as a community we are greater than the sum of our parts. I bless this gift that I give today. I give this gift from my heart, and I give it mindfully. May my gift go further to heal, prosper, and bless this center and all who enter. I accept all good that comes as a result of this flow, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. And I'm just doing some simple math in my head. May 18th, this is our third Sunday of the month. Assistant outreach, which is wonderful. So if we have our collection in the back of the room, if you want to separate a giving for outreach, that's something that we're looking to ramp back up this summer. And that's wonderful. Again, I want to invite anyone, if you're available to outreach today, to join us in downtown Montclair to advertise for the Peace Concert on June 14th, certainly. That flyer, as well as all of our events in June. We had our Family and Friends Day, March 30th. We're opening up the whole month of June for people to explore the many different facets of our community, not just one day. And one of those days is our summer solstice on June 22nd. So that's in our newsletters. That's going to be in our June flyer. I know it's in the outreach that we're going to be putting in town of certainly the Peace Concert and everything that needs to be, but our Sunday service, yes? Our Sunday service will be celebrating the solstice with meditation and experiencing the sounds of drumming, singing, and prose as we welcome the arrival of summer, which is always wonderful. The week after my school year ends, so that'll be extra special. All right. Other quick announcements that I want to make sure we are all aware of. Next week is Zoom only on May 25th with Reverend Joel speaking with Living from Spirit. Not in person, on Zoom only. And then classes starting up in June. Reverend Michelle's doing a forgiveness course starting Monday, June 2nd at 7 p.m. Check that out at Planned Happiness Institute on Breeze to register. Reverend Neil is doing our Immortality, Eternity, Life, Physical Death. Let's talk about it. We're not going to negotiate. We're going to talk about it. To talk all of life and learn not to live in fear about it. So that starts Monday, June 9th, a 5-week class so that you kind of know the expectation of time and finances. Double check that on Breeze. Make sure that you register so that we know what classes are coming in. We can plan for that group. Same thing for the Peace Concert. Please register if you're going to be here on June 14th so that we can allocate chairs and spaces and that whole evening. And pack the room. Bring more than one friend so that's a big event. It's been every big event we have here has always been well received and a large impact on the community. And let's bring a friend and have him stay into that summer solstice the following Sunday.
You all are so zoned out, so calmed out. Neil just spread all this calm, the king of calm. But I think we need a little more energy. Get up! This is the day. Setting me free. Oh, this is the time I can fly. Time higher and higher in the sky. This is the day that's oh, this is the day. All my dreams come true. Feel the spirit working, getting me through. Oh, this is the time I can fly. Higher and higher in the sky. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that spirit made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This Happy Sunday, happy every day.
At the Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, we believe in empowering individuals to discover their inner strength and their connection to divine life. Through our supportive community, transformative workshops, and uplifting services, we provide a safe space for personal growth and spiritual exploration. Whether you're seeking clarity, healing, or a deeper understanding of life's mysteries, our center offers practical tools and timeless wisdom to help you thrive. Join us in creating a more diverse, compassionate, and kind world. Your world, the way you want to create it.